Forecast for parts of our county and a continuation with the heat alerts. Details are coming up.
A lawsuit aims to stop the city's new trash fees from kicking in before homeowners see the charges on their property tax bills.
Case dismissed. Why a judge says key evidence was destroyed in a sexual harassment lawsuit against Nathan Fletcher.
An arrest made by ICE has some parents at Camarena Elementary School concerned. We have new video showing what might have unfolded during that incident.
You can visit an historic U.S. Coast Guard ship on the Embarcadero for free.
From exploitation to a loving home, how Eddie the Jaguar found the friends he needs at lions, tigers, and bears.
And SeaWorld unveils its newest exhibit.
Fantastic.
The species visitors are excited to see. CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts right now.
We start with breaking news out of La Jolla, where 5 people were rescued from the ocean after their boat overturned. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Shannon Handy in tonight for Marcella Lee. This happened within the last 2 hours near the Bird Rock area. That's where CBS 8's Alex Lai joins us live with what we know right now. Alex?
Well, Carlo and Shannon, we know that there were 5 people on board when this boat overturned. Luckily, they have all been taken to the hospital. But I do want to show you from where we are right now, you can still see that boat very, very faintly. We're being told it is being towed, taken likely over to Mission Bay. Right now we are in La Jolla at Sun Gold Point Beach at Camino de la Costa, so that is where we are getting a look right now. But I do want to show you some video we got from Chopper 8 earlier, giving a closer look at what happened. We spoke with San Diego Fire Rescue just moments ago and learned it was a 22-foot cabin cruiser that appeared to have had a mechanical failure just 200 feet off the coast. They say it appeared to be hit by a wave and then overturned. Multiple lifeguard teams headed out and found 4 people in the water, and one actually stuck underneath the boat in the cabin. That person was rescued and taken to the hospital with the other 4 passengers, and we are told that that one person who was stuck under the boat is in critical condition. However, we don't have any other information yet. Back out here live, the scene was cleared by the time that we arrived. Again, this happened at 4:15 in the afternoon. There were still some lifeguards and law enforcement officers lingering, and there was also a Border Patrol unit. They said that that unit came out just as a precaution in case this was an immigration-related event, but we don't have any of those details yet. That's all we have out here in La Jolla so far. I'll pass it back to you, Carlo and Shannon.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Alex. As always, you can find an extended weather forecast on our free streaming channel, CBS 8 Plus. Just download on your TV and watch for free. Meantime, all evacuation warnings have been lifted for a fire that broke out in Far East County today.
I think we're going to go back. We're getting a little out of order. We actually are going to go talk to Carlene right now because it's been very hot today and we're waiting for it to cool down. Is it going to happen anytime soon?
Well, we are talking about the heat that we felt today, but it's been extended when it comes to our alerts across the mountains as well as for the desert. So when we look at how we shaped up for today, temperatures actually took a little bit of a drop in some areas where we had triple-digit heat yesterday, but not by much. So we're talking about getting into those widespread 90s. That's what we had for most of the inland valleys, also still with the mountains, as well as 111 degrees today for Borrego Springs and 70s right there along the coast. Even had some 80s popping up inland. As mentioned, we are still looking at the heat advisory for the inland valleys. That will expire at 8 p.m. for tonight. For the mountains, it will expire now at 8 p.m. on Monday night. And for the desert, it's going to keep going all the way until 8 p.m. on Tuesday night. And that's because we are looking at temperatures coming down west of the mountains, getting a little bit closer towards what's seasonal for this time of the year. So you have those 70s that will be locked in right there along the coast with daytime highs. That will not change in our forecast. And we have more 80s popping up across the inland valleys where we've had some 90s over the past few days. You're looking at 80s for El Cajon as well as for Escondido, but still holding on to some of those 90s like Ramona as well as Valley Center. But that's actually just a couple degrees above seasonal for this time of the year and more of those 90s for the mountains. We'll go ahead and take a look at your complete forecast coming up. Shannon.
Thanks, Carlene. And as always, you can find an extended weather forecast on our free streaming channel, CBS 8 Plus. Just download on your TV and watch for free.
All evacuation warnings have been lifted for a fire that broke out in Far East County today. The so-called Roadrunner fire started near Boulevard at 11:30 or so this morning, quickly growing to almost 90 acres. It threatened some nearby structures, triggering evacuation warnings. At last check, the fire is at 15% contained. Meantime, firefighters are trying to tackle a wildfire burning about 60 miles northwest of downtown Los Angeles.
We first told you about the Canyon Fire last night. It started yesterday afternoon and quickly spread thanks to strong winds, high temperatures, and dry conditions. So far, it's burned more than 5,300 acres and forced thousands to evacuate. It comes as crews northwest of that are simultaneously fighting the Gifford Fire near Santa Maria. That fire has burned about 100,000 acres in wild terrain that has made it difficult for crews to use special equipment.
A lot of thick chaparral, which is really tough to get through. So we've got hand crews and hot shots just getting after it as hard as they can with just their hand tools.
Fires are burning beyond California. That includes 2 fires that merged in Colorado and the Dragon Bravo fire near the Grand Canyon, which has been burned.
Right now we're following more breaking news, a shooting in downtown San Diego.
That's where CBS 8's Richard Allen joins us live with what we know so far. Richard.
Right, a very bizarre set of circumstances here, Shannon and Carlo. From what we understand, San Diego police just briefed us on this. They received a 911 call about a shooting at 4:53 p.m. that took place just a couple blocks from here at the Ralph's grocery store. From what we understand, a customer got into some sort of verbal altercation with the security guard at that grocery store. It somehow escalated. The customer then took out a gun from his backpack and fired 2 shots at the security guard. Neither of those shots hit the guard. The guard then returned fire. His bullet did not hit the customer. However, in the middle of all this, coincidentally, there was a federal agent who happened to be in the vicinity, witnessed all of this, and began pursuing that suspect. That all ended right here in front of the Westin Hotel here at Horton Plaza, just a couple blocks away from the Ralph's grocery store. That suspect was then taken into custody, we understand, without incident. He is being booked. He'll be facing charges of assault with a deadly weapon. The good news here is that even with those shots fired, no one was hit, no one was hurt. That suspect taken into custody by a federal agent who just happened to be in the area at the time. That's the very latest. We're working to get more information on this. We'll have the latest at 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. Shannon and Carlo.
A group of taxpayers is challenging the constitutionality of San Diego's looming trash fee.
Now, as CBS 8's David Gofferson reports, attorneys are asking the judge to set a trial date in a lawsuit before the city starts collecting that fee.
We're not asking for money. We're just asking for what the public is entitled to.
Former city attorney Michael Aguirre is representing taxpayers in a lawsuit that claims the city's new trash fee is unconstitutional. And he wants the case to go to trial before the city starts collecting the money.
We want to have the judge say that you didn't comply with the Constitution and it has to be set aside, and you're going to have to come up with a better plan.
Aguirre argues the trash fee violates California's Proposition 218, which prohibits fees that are more than the cost of the actual service that's being provided. The lawsuit alleges the city inflated the cost of trash services from $70 million to nearly $149 million to include non-service related expenses like previous debt, new trucks, and infrastructure.
The city is in dire financial shape, which we appreciate, and that puts all the pressure in the world on the city officials to come up with some way to plug the hole, and that's what this is.
Some homeowners would pay more than $500 a year added to their property tax bills starting in October.
There are people that can't afford another $100. They do not have another $100. I mean, they just do not have another $100, and this is hitting them.
The suit also alleges that San Diegans were not given a fair opportunity to reject the fee. claiming that the notice sent to residents buried critical protest procedures in small print. The city won't comment on pending litigation, but in court this week, Deputy City Attorney Gabriel McWhirter told the judge, quote, "The city believes very strongly that these fees are constitutional. It's obviously true that people don't like the fee, but if they feel it's unconstitutional, they have a remedy to file a protest with the city and then sue for a refund." The judge in the lawsuit set the next hearing for this coming Tuesday. He ordered both parties to meet and confer and try to agree on a trial date. In the Miramar area, David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
All right, thanks, David. A huge development tonight in the sexual harassment lawsuit filed against former San Diego County Supervisor Nathan Fletcher. The case is over. A judge dismissed the lawsuit, saying the accuser destroyed and withheld key evidence.
CBS 8's Brian White was inside the courtroom for the whole thing.
In a rare move, the judge dismissed the case outright, calling it unlike anything he's ever dealt with before. He said Grecia Figueroa's handling of the evidence left him with no other option.
There is delay, alteration, and destruction at virtually every phase.
In a sharply worded ruling, the judge stated that Figueroa engaged in what he called a, quote, litany of discovery abuse, failing to turn over crucial evidence and even deleting audio and messages that could have supported Fletcher's defense.
The evidence of discovery abuse in this case is overwhelming, and you just can't ignore it.
Inside the courtroom, Figueroa defended herself and gave reaction to the ruling.
I find it quite disrespectful to invalidate my experience and call abuse of power an affair. And nothing was deleted with an intent to hide anything. In fact, I wish I had some of the missing evidence because I believe it could be helpful to my case.
But Nathan Fletcher's attorney says the missing evidence paints a very different picture.
Not only was she refusing to turn stuff over, but she was altering things. She was taking text threads and removing specific threads in those links that completely undermine her claims.
He says Fletcher acknowledges mistakes, but insists the lawsuit was baseless. Now they plan to move forward with a defamation case. As for Figueroa, she says she will appeal the ruling. Legal analyst Dan Eaton says the path to an appeal could be a tough one.
Given the judge's findings about the nature of Ms. Figueroa's conduct with respect to the kinds of evidence that she had but destroyed, an appeal may very well be a challenge.
Now, this lawsuit may be over, but with Fletcher's defamation case and Figueroa's appeal, the legal battle between both parties is far from done. Reporting from downtown, I'm Brian White, CBS 8.
Thanks, Brian. Tonight, we're learning U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents arrested a parent outside a South Bay school.
It happened Wednesday during morning drop-off. CBS 8's Regina Ureta has a look at how the school district is now reacting.
Yeah, that's correct. And that video actually shows what sort of happened on Wednesday morning. It was during drop-off time, which means parents and children, they were heading into school. And then across from Camarena Elementary School, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents, they drove up next to a car, got out of their vehicles, and arrested a woman who was also dropping off her child. I want to show you a video that's been circulating online. You can actually see in that video at least 3 federal agents, some of them with their face covered, approaching a woman's car. ICE says the woman arrested was ordered to be deported in absentia by a San Diego immigration judge in 2022. She goes by the name Yu Kyung Jin and lives in Chula Vista. We searched to see if she had any prior criminal convictions. At this time, we have not found any other crimes in her past history aside from what ICE told us. The incident quickly prompted Superintendent Eduardo Reyes to inform families and staff in a letter about the protocols in place to prevent unauthorized access to schools. They say they limit law enforcement agents from interacting with students unless there's an active emergency or warrant. For parents, on the other hand, the recent arrest conducted by ICE has many of them upset and even concerned, especially families with an immigrant background.
It's absolutely concerning. Personally, I come from an immigrant family as well, and you feel for the innocent people, regardless of their legal status. So That's the part that bothers me the most, and then to be arrested in front of your child.
Now, the superintendent says they are supportive of all students regardless of immigration status. They're also encouraging parents to create a plan for the district just in case there is a scenario where they can't pick up their kids from school. I'm Regina Yurita, CBS 8.
Thank you, Regina. A special shopping spree helping families and children in need get ready to go back to school.
That story is still ahead. Plus, snakes are out and about amid this heat. We're working for you, sharing what you need to know to stay safe.
And a piece of U.S. history sails into San Diego for the first time in more than a decade. We'll tell you how you can get an up-close look after this.